Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Future is Female podcast. I'm your host, Zachary King. I am here with the beautiful model, actress, singer, songwriter, alligator wrestler. What this girl does not do right here. So, Latiffany, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you
for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Please, for those who don't know, please tell a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay. So I'm a runway model and a poet and I act. A singer, I sing in the shower, but I did find out that I can't really sing. So I'm about to start I think I'm going to start practicing that gift because I found out I really could sing. So I'm thinking about that. I don't know. But yes, I've been doing modeling for, 15 years.
Got you.
Poetry for a little minute.
Oh, so you're a poet as well?
Yes.
Got you.
Yeah, I'll be in the open mics. And, I just performed in April in the middle of Manhattan for an Angelman syndrome showcase. Yeah, God just be opening up doors. I don't be knowing how he does it, but he does it.
Okay, all right, I feel that for sure. One of the things about being in Philly, and that's it's a what's the word? How to put it? It's kind of heartbreaking. Okay, I love my city, but I remember at one point we used to kill the whole neo soul poetry vibe, and it's so hard to find these days. Remember the vibe spot where everybody used to go? I don't know. She's kind of young, so.
Well, not even that, but I also have to say I'm from Tennessee, so I'm not really from here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Tennessee, the Nashville area, Murfreesboro area. Murfreesboro, if you Google it, it's still considered Nashville, so Nashville area. But yeah, so sometimes I just find out stuff and I just attend, but I don't be knowing where nothing is here.
Got you. Now, how long you been here for?
Been here?
Yes.
A little minute. I live in South Jersey, but I've been there for about 12 years.
Nice.
But the last
And we will also kick that
Y'all
ass.
balance it out. Yeah, yeah.
So we are definitely that way. That definitely speaks to our city. In terms of you finding work as a model, actress, and stuff like that, how has that been, that transition up here? Is it easier to work? Because you say you worked in places like Atlanta, Chicago, New York, and so forth. So how was it that here? How was that here in the city?
Philly is where I feel like I found my poetry more. I did do Philly Fashion Week some years ago. And I did, a couple local shows here in Philly, but the most that I've done in Philly has been poetry, and that's on every corner.
Gotcha.
That's dope. That's another reason why, because that was really my first gift, poetry. So, but I didn't really start getting on the scene until really not that long ago. And I found it in Philly, and I was like, geez, I was on a radio show. Shout out to Ron Murder Season Mondays. I was on that show.
Nice.
On that radio show, Glockerware Radio. And they gave me a chance, and I performed my poetry there. And to me, that was a blessing, So that was right in Philly.
Got you.
Philly's lit.
Got you. Well, I appreciate you. With that being said, tell me a little bit more about you. Maybe what your upbringing and, how you grew up.
Let's see. The way I grew up was my dad and mom, they worked very hard. I was blessed to have the nicer things, but sometimes even with the nicer things, you still deal with things, and you have to branch out and find yourself in ways that maybe your upbringing wasn't like. And I'm thankful that I got a taste of both worlds.
Right.
Suburbs.
So what you're saying
whatever.
is, although I did have a lot of resources, I still understand the importance of going out and go getting it.
Yes.
Got you.
One reason why I moved up here. Because it was a little slower to get it down there.
Now, you said your father. So did you grow up in a 2-parent household or just your father? Like, what was that?
No, 2-parent. My mom and dad both, they were together. They're still together now.
How many years?
Oh, gosh. That would kill me if I didn't know this right away. But I know that their their anniversary is in September. So that'll be like, I want to say like 41 years. 41 Yeah, because I got them an anniversary gift last year that was for their 40th. So, yeah, it would be 41 this year.
41 years. Wow, that's a long time. That's a long time.
That's love right there from high school.
From high school.
But in that generation, that's most of the stories.
Right.
Most of them were high school. Like that was what we were talking about earlier. Old souls. Right. You know, like a lot of that generation, a lot of people are still together from that generation. And my parents just happened to be.
So how many siblings and stuff?
I have 2 siblings. Okay. They both, one is in heaven. Shout out to my baby JB. And I'm wearing him. He's always with me. Okay. And my other brother Thomas, Mr. State Board. Shout out to him. He can help you pass your hair exams. Okay. He's in Tennessee. And my other brothers, they're my first cousins. Gotcha. And I wear one he's Cario.
Gotcha.
I wear him too.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So you grew up in a household with, it sounds like a lot of men in your household.
Well, it was just, I grew up around a lot of masculinity. I'll say that. You know, it was, most of them, I have more uncles than aunts. I have more boy cousins than girl cousins. You know what I mean? So it was more of that. Right. Yeah. But my dad didn't play, so I felt like, I was a boy sometimes.
So do you feel like you was a daddy's girl, or would you be considered as a daddy's girl?
For the most part, yeah. I guess I would say that. I love my dad very much. He would do everything for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Right. You're like, let me say yeah in case he's watching.
No, my dad knows. My dad knows I love him, but like any other families, all families go through their own versions of healing. Right. So the love is never lost. Right. It's just we all deal with family things, and hey, we got to get through it.
Right. No, I totally get that. So
yeah. So, but daddy's girl, he'll do. If I call him right now, he'll do it. Whatever. So if that's what you mean, absolutely.
Right. Okay. Well, I have a little girl too. She's 14. She was just featured on the show. I had her and my daughter mom on the show. Okay. The reason why is because number one, when we do these podcasts, and there's a lot of spaces out here. A lot of men, they'll come out and they have their opinions about women and so forth and so on. And, I have my own. And they never actually show any of the women that are important to them in their lives. It's like always this, I don't want to call it dictatorship, but it's like I talk about women, I say this about women, but yet there's no women that you could ever be like vouch for, or that could ever be like, you get what I'm saying? So I thought it was important that I will put the women in my life on this show as well, and especially because
I know they appreciated that too.
You know what though? I think it was good. I think it was. I'm still in the process of putting the show together, but I think they received a well welcome for those who have watched it and stuff like that. Like, so I think it's dope. And then also a part in the show is, I want this to be a place of transparency. Like, I want this to be a place of transparency and vulnerability. Right. So it was like, well, me being the captain of the ship, I wanted to show, like, hey, these are my people right here. Now, me and my daughter mom is not together. And I say that because I still want us to, always wanted to represent a co-parenting household or co-parenting situation, because I feel like the only other time we see like co-parents are like on like reality shows, and that's usually when they at each other's throats. Yeah. So with that being said, let's talk about representation, okay? let's talk about that, because you being a runway model, you being a black woman, how is it working in those spaces right there?
I will say in the beginning it was pretty tough.
Okay.
It was pretty tough, but that was also a while ago, before they started giving models that thing of, it doesn't matter what size, what shape, what, at one time it was just love my white women, love my white people. I got white people that I'm close to. Y'all know who y'all are. But it was typically just one of those, like, size 0, Barbie, white, Barbie and Ken look. That's
Right.
what it was.
Right.
So it was pretty tough. And then especially being a black girl in that
Right.
time. Like,
Right.
I mean, they just recently, not that long ago, really, when Tyra did that whole, doesn't matter what size or age or shape or whatever. And I was thankful for that, because everybody's not a size 0. I know I'm not.
Right,
And even
right.
whenever I had gotten really small, like smaller than I should have ever gotten, because it didn't even look right. Everybody's not
Right.
supposed to be that size. They still were telling me no. I went out and got some pizza, prayed about it, and I told God if it was meant, he would make it happen. And I stopped stressing, and I looked up, and I was on every runway that they said I couldn't be on.
Wow.
I was meeting people, celebrities, working with them. He just started saying, like, oh, she can't? Okay, well, let me show you.
No,
She's mine.
That's decent though.
Really?
That's really decent.
Really how it
And
happened.
so go ahead, go drop a couple names. Like, what some of the people you have worked with, or some of the runways.
I've been in NYC Live, New York Fashion Week, Bronx Fashion Week. The list kind of goes on and on, but I worked for celebrity designers in California. As far as working in Atlanta, I was on Star with Queen Latifah.
Star?
Yeah, I
used
played.
to watch Star.
Really?
I
I
really
know
did.
that was one of
I
my
really
favorite
did.
shows. So when I was thankful to be able to do it. I was Star's nurse, actually.
Was you?
Yeah, that's on that. You might see. I do have that on my page too. So
I gotta
that
go
was a
check that
blessing.
out.
God is good for that. And I've also, been on Empire with Taraji Henson.
Wow.
I was on Lovecraft Country.
How was Empire? I used to watch Empire too.
Empire was cool. Taraji acts exactly the way she is.
Does she?
Yes, she's really dope. Felicia Rashad was actually in that episode too, so I was able to see her. She was really sweet. Tay Diggs was there. It's been quite a few. Orange is the New Black. That was actually my very first one. I started the riot.
Did you?
Started the riot, yeah.
Wow.
And I always tell people, like, you never know when it's okay to break the rules, because they ended up like taking the scene of me starting the riot, and that wasn't even what I was supposed to do.
No.
No.
So you improv and just
Yeah,
went in.
I just snatched it off the wall. Like, sometimes you just have to do your own thing and let people use your art.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Just
And they
do your
want to
own
run
thing.
with that on the show.
Oh yeah, it's there.
That's
it's there.
crazy.
Yep. I was like, oh yes. That's one of my
crazy.
favorites too. I'm mad that they ended that, but
Right.
Yeah.
And you met Felicia Rashad too.
yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, Felicia, she's precious. Yeah, she's really a sweet woman.
Right.
That's a sweet woman right there.
And she's like on like the Black Mount Rushmore of actresses. Like she's been
You could never.
right. Like
That's a
she's
you could
been
never.
all right. So us that are in
Love
our
her.
40s, some a little bit older, 50s. For me in my 40s, she was like a mom. Like for a lot of us.
I was literally gonna say that. Like, I'm 37, so I grew up watching, all
Right.
that. Yeah, I
Right.
love Felicia, and then I love just humble people.
Right.
Because I have bumped into certain celebrities. I won't say nothing, so y'all can't come after me later.
Right.
But I've bumped into some who I really were fans of, and then I
Right.
met them or worked with them or whatever, and it was not even that. So some people not everybody's happy with what they do. That's
Right.
why my thing is just be happy, whatever it is. Everybody's not built for this, and whatever they choose to do, I'm not built for it maybe, but just be happy in whatever you do. Because I've bumped into people who it looks like it's happiness and they're not.
That's true.
And then
that's
they
a lot of
mistreat
people.
people. Yeah.
That's
A lot of people walking around with the wrong energies.
That's a lot of people. A lot of people have fake facades, their fake happiness. They make it seem like they got their whole life together.
Yeah.
And behind closed doors. I remember you can see that a lot. Like if you was to go to a bar, you'll see that a lot. There's people who will sit around here bored and they would get on their phone and then they would act as if they having a time of their life. And it's like, wow, how did you just come up with that?
Yeah.
And then, but people on their social media is looking like, oh my God, they having a great time. They always lit. No, they was sitting around here bored. They was they was sitting around here
and now they
miserable,
trying to make it look like it's like they're trying to like prove something to the world. But that's one reason why I spoke on mental illness and still speak on it like I do, because I didn't want everybody thinking that what they saw on my IG was like glitz and glamour. Like I got tired of faking it myself. I think we've all been there where we fake the funk, but then that gets old. It's heavy.
Right.
And then it's like, no, we could all help each other by being more raw. Right. About things that we're all really facing.
Right. So, okay. So you talk a little bit about happiness, and I want you to get into that a little bit. Talk about how you find your happiness, and also talk about some of the challenges that you may have faced, because you are 37, right? Mm-hmm. So there is this thing that's coming out where they kind of feel like, hey, it's a young, young woman's game. The fact that you are 37 and still doing it. So as much as there are doors that still open up to you, but what about the doors that actually close? How do you handle that?
When the doors close on me, I just look at it like next opportunity, because that's all no means. Next opportunity.
Okay. Next opportunity
means no.
Nice.
That yes, yeah. And it is, I go through the motions. I kick and scream, cry sometimes, even question God. And then I have to go back and tell him sorry for questioning him, because I shouldn't do that.
Okay.
But he knows what's best. So like, I've learned to just kind of, when it comes to the challenges, just look at it like, okay, well, the next thing is out here, and whatever's meant will be eventually there for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's kind of how I have to find my happiness. I've done the whole beating myself up thing before. It's like, it wasn't meant for you, girl. Like, it wasn't meant. Right. You wasn't supposed to do it. That's it. That's kind of how I deal with it. I have to deal with it like that.
Right.
I have to, or I'll be stressed. I'll be, Now,
you mentioned God a lot. So is God and spiritual walk a big, important to you? Or like, how was that? Where did that rank in your life?
Absolutely. And no, I don't walk around toting the Bible, but you would think I did, because the way I feel like I have to talk about him. Like, he wants people to know him.
Okay.
And the stuff that he's done for me that I know I shouldn't, like, I didn't know how I ended up in the room with just actors. I don't have an agent.
No.
No. Everything that I've ever done has been on my own self-work and with the help of him, really.
Wow.
Like, I don't have anybody doing anything for me. That's why I can't be stressed when I get told no, because I have other things to worry about.
Right.
I do want a team, like, management and agents and stuff like that when I can, but I'm just letting him move. So yeah, he is a big part of me, because when you out there by yourself doing it, you need somebody to lead you that you can trust.
Right. Well, what better person or being, right, than God, right? What better?
Yep.
How did you come to this entrepreneurial journey though? Like, how did you come to that? Like, get to that space where you say, you know what, I could make a career from this. This is something that I could do. How did you get to that space?
Being tired of told that I couldn't do it got me to this space.
Okay.
The energy of not having or not having like what I felt like was the full support that I should have had, and making myself believe like, no, you're not supposed to be doing this. They said you're not. And then it's like, wait a minute. Are they going to be doing it or you? Like, it took a minute for me to get it. So God just works things out, because when I first moved from Tennessee to Maryland, I really was just moving just to get like a change. My cousin Kelsey, who's all over Tubi, shout out to her, Kelsey Delamar. I was living with her and her mom at the time, and she was at like a modeling event. I was taking her there back and forth, and then I went in there, and me and the guy who was over it just started kind of talking. He started critiquing my walk, but I always wanted to do this. Since I was younger, and then God blessed me with like a natural model walk that I used to be teased about and all this stuff. So like, it's crazy how your story is written, because, now, he'll like bless you in front of people's faces.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's kind of how I really got pushed into doing it, when I got tired of being told like, you can't do it. And it's like, actually, I think I can.
No, that hits hard. And that hits hard for me too, because as an entrepreneur, when I was selling the idea that I wanted to do a podcast with people, like I would run across and, we would talk, and I would say, hey, would you like to do a podcast? Do this. people would tell me all the time, yeah, I would, I would do it. I jump on it. And then it was others that will just, and I would never hear from them. Then there'll be other people where it was just like, no, I can't do it. I don't want to. And I felt like, I was like, yo, I'm not kissing nobody ass to do something that I want to do.
Exactly.
So I felt that it was just more better for me to go ahead and do these things myself. And for me to just go ahead and say, hey, look, I'm going to create my own lane. Now, how this started it was two things. The first thing how it started was I was offering a package that when somebody booked photography services with me, they will get, an interview talking about their business. Then it kind of turned into, I guess this is a podcast. Then my entrepreneurial side kicked in because it was like, I'm sick of seeing us fighting on social media. I'm sick of seeing the gender wars. I'm sick of seeing the BS that's going on with us. And I felt as though, no swipe to her because I use her all the time. I can't, because of Sexy Red and her avatar, I can't get a Jill Scott. So it was like, you know what? I got to promote more those type of women because those type of women are being drowned out here in a sea of the Glorrillas and the other ratchet women. Again, I'm walking careful with this because I don't want to offend, but this is my truth.
I get what you're saying.
Okay, this is my truth.
Right.
I wanted to provide a space where women don't got to worry about getting their sentences cut off, where they could rest in their feminine, where they could talk about their truth unapologetically and talk about their businesses. So I feel exactly what you're saying. Yeah. And it's not easy. It's not easy.
This whole thing has not been a cakewalk. Like so many times sometimes even now, as long as I've been doing this, I mean, life is changing every day. So no matter what you're doing, you're still going with the flow of change and the rules are changing. And sometimes you like, I don't want to keep dealing with this. It's heavier now, the way things are, the industry, the modeling industry is much different now than what it was back then, especially then when COVID hit, it really got odd, like sometimes I do want to give up, but I feel like, when I keep getting that nudge, that's when you know not to stop. When it's keeping you up at night. Right. Like, it's like, that's a gift.
Right. No.
It's like you can't even sleep sometimes. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, gosh. Like, I know this isn't waking me up. Like,
Right. No, I tried doing other things. I tried getting a quote-unquote real job. I'm throwing up air quotes, you guys. And I always came back to this. Like, I always came back. And my only... It's not really a regret. My only thing is I wasn't conscious that I loved this as much until I turned 40. So when I turned 40, for those who know, and I put this on a podcast, when I came home from prison, I'm underneath the mindset that says when a man come home from prison, I don't care what age, you are an entrepreneur at that point. All that, I got to wait till somebody give me a job. I'm going to get my license. I'm going to school. I'm not saying that's dead. But
by then you gotta just do your own thing.
You gotta do gotta if that comes through for you, then it should be coming through for you while you already doing your own thing. So while you are in jail or incarcerated, and that's for any man or woman that is watching this. And for those who have folks who are incarcerated, please relay that message. We need to get that out here. While you are in jail, while you are in prison, you need to be writing your book. You need to be focusing, if you're going to become a fitness trainer, whatever you do, you need to be focused on trying to get your certifications and whatever the case might be for the moment you touch down.
That's good motivation.
So, yes.
That would be good motivation for them, too. Because, because it's somebody in prison right now who's not thinking of doing that.
Right.
They're just like, and some people who not even in prison who like, I'm thinking about it. No, do it.
Do it. Put one
note
foot
to
in front of the
self.
other.
I need to do some things.
Now, don't get it wrong. This entrepreneur journey is not for everybody.
Right.
But the reason why I feel as though it is for someone that's coming out of jail or soon will be released is because it removed the excuse of you can't get a job. It removes the excuse. We don't need no more men. And I'm speaking for as a man. Women can take care of the women on this one, but we don't need no more men coming home on that, blaming the white man and everything else. Create your own lane. There's people here to support you. When I came home, I had people who was more than willing to support me. Was it rough that I had to get battle tested? Absolutely. I had to put my money where my mouth is. But it's been 4 years. It'll be 4 years on. Yeah. Shout out for that. 4 years since I've been home. So on July the 2nd, So, we're thinking of which we're having our first meet and greet at With the Fork restaurant. Shout out to With the Fork, you know what I'm saying? So
What
shout
the
out
fork?
to them.
That's cute.
So we're going out to With the Fork restaurant out there. We're gonna have a meet and greet, but it's gonna be a party. I ain't gonna lie, it's a party.
Sounds like it.
It's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a party, yo. So we out there, man. It's my 4-year anniversary coming home. So
that's a blessing.
definitely. So
That's what's up. Y'all gonna turn up.
What you mean, y'all? You're not joining us?
Well, you didn't invite me.
Well, of
You
course
just told me about it.
You found out about it. So listen, y'all. We got Runway.
So that was an
models
open
in there and
invitation.
everything.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
absolutely,
you.
absolutely. You are part of the I Am the Prize media family. So by all means, we got Runway models, y'all. So y'all better show up. Go ahead. Tell me a little bit more about your some of your challenges that you might have, even walking into these spaces, because I think that's important too. Because we need to show that the entrepreneur journey is not something that should be taken lightly. So let me get a time where you really felt challenged. Them days when you said you was really laying in your bed, ready to thinking about quitting.
Yeah.
Give me that. Let me get that.
Yeah. The challenges. It's a lot of competition. And that can weigh on you mentally. That alone is a challenge. Your mental alone is a challenge. And whenever you're, facing a world full of people who don't know how to just embrace the gift itself, instead they're like, oh, I want to get to the top. I want to pass you. It becomes this jealous thing. It becomes this, oh, I'm your friend this day, as long as you're not doing too much as me or going, it can be very tricky, which is why you really have to protect your space. That can be a challenge because you're around a lot of people, around a lot of things and energies. And sometimes not everybody can mean you well. There are good people everywhere, but some things aren't, you have to just keep your third eye open. But one big challenge I remember is I was on Chicago Med. I don't know if you all remember that show. And, shout out to Chicago Med. What I'm about to say, it is what it is. We all know with filming, sometimes you get put on set and they don't use you anymore, whatever. But because I was so excited and I had just started getting into this thing, I had went through the whole script. We had went through everything. And they had asked me and a couple of people to step off. Okay. Everything was still legit. Still got the check, still got all that. But that wasn't the point. It was here in my heart. And I remember first starting out, and I remember being called off set in front of everybody. I think that was a challenge for me to say that, even though you got the yes, you need to, until you get to the finish line for real. I had told people, you get excited. You tell everything's not that. And that was a challenge for me because I'm like, but everything's not a yes. Everything is not what you want it to be, especially in this industry. I didn't know that they could even switch up like that. I was still learning. I'm like, wait, but I was picked for this. No, and even to this day, I realize no, it switches up like that. They will delete and add and edit people. So that really hurt. That was a challenge for me. Not just so much as Chicago Med, but just the whole thing is within itself. I had to teach myself that everything's not, and I went through something similar to that with a huge fashion show. And that was because of my weight. I was picked, and then whenever the designer came, the table had picked me. Oh yeah, she'd be great, but the designer, it was a whole situation that hurt me too, because not only did I not get to perform in that, not only was I picked, but then unpicked, but I couldn't perform, and it was because of my body. Oh, when I tell you the biggest challenge in this industry for me is your mental. You cannot let the wrong words and things and people get in your head, because it affects every job that you put your hands on.
And that's a heavy task, because we are in a profession where our craft is out there for the world to critique.
Yes.
You mentioned Tubi, right? And shout out to Tubi, because a lot of people give Tubi a hard way to go.
I know. I'm a Tubi fan. Big Tubi fan.
I tell people, you're watching somebody dream. You're watching somebody who said, balls to the wall, I don't got no other way, I'm going to make this thing work. And I know it might look a little cheesy at times, because some of the stuff I'm like, come on, you guys. Y'all guys are killing me. Y'all ain't have to go this route.
Now y'all know y'all could have hit cut right there.
Did that. Come on, guys. Come on,
shout out to Tubi.
But there is somebody, you're looking at somebody last. You're looking at the last dollar that they had, and they said, "Yo, I'm gonna put that into this right here, and this gotta work." So for that reason alone, did you hear that Tubi got more views than Disney? They got like in the last month, they got like So shout out to Tubi.
Oh,
shout out to Tubi. Shout out to Tubi. It's a lot of us on there. The dude that come to mind most for me is Kyrie Terrell. He's if you don't know him, I'm gonna have to introduce you. He's a really thorough dude. Man,
I probably done seen him before. I'm so bad. You think I know so many different people because I don't even watch as much TV as people think. Right. Because I'm more earthy. I'm more like into like a book or something, into poetry writing or something. Like,
I don't really watch TV. I can't tell you the last time I actually watched television. Either. But I keep it on. Like I'm one of them dudes that is background music. Like I'll keep with Kyrie Terrell. He got on Workbay 1, Workbay 2. He got Money Lovers, and he got a couple other things on Tubi.
Okay, so I'm gonna look him up. Yes. He sounds familiar though.
The brother,
he actually does.
The brother is sharp. The brother he's a hustler.
Really?
And no, seriously. Like I really got a lot of respect for this dude. So
shout out to him.
Shout out to him, man. So but I'll keep the Tubi running, and I encourage others, please.
Right.
Keep Tubi on. Just turn it on and just keep it on. Just it is what it is.
Yeah.
Do the same for the Future is Female podcast too. Please turn that on. Watch that as well, man. Please.
Period.
Because we really want to open up this platform to have more women from other walks of life. Like I just had my first white guest on. I had a Spanish girl on.
Cool.
I wanted my 6-month goal, and please, if you're listening to this, tell her, is to have Sherelle Parker on.
Okay.
So I want her on my platform because I got the name from her. So I went to a town hall meeting that she had, and she was talking about the future of Philadelphia, and I was like, you know what? The future is female.
I hope she gets on
so
here.
So I hope to have her on to
female. I love that.
The future. I appreciate it. A few people gave me.
I really like that a lot. It's really nice.
I appreciate it. A few people gave me a little bit of like, oh man, that's feminist talk and stuff. I'm not going there with that.
Again, your mental, don't let people in your space.
Right.
It's like, because everybody doesn't see what you see. And whenever you're spoken to right here, they didn't know that. They don't know what they're not going to understand it. They're not supposed to.
No, that's true.
They're not supposed to.
That's true. So with that being said, we're going to close out. Is there anything you want to leave the listener audience?
Thank y'all for listening to me. Y'all can follow me on IG at I am Latiffany Rasman, and I will follow y'all back. Trust God and always pray. And thank y'all for having me.
Appreciate you. Thank you. So I guess it's safe to say that you'll come back on with us?
Yes, absolutely. It's dope. I love the vibe, and I love what you're doing for women. Like, we already sometimes feel like we don't have a safe space. So for you to provide that, thank you. We need that. But we need to provide more safe spaces for men too, ladies. So let's remember that.
Are they ready for that conversation?
That might be next time, because y'all know how we do. We do be tripping. It ain't always the men.
Hey, ladies, hit the like button first. I hope they hit the like button before you got to that.
I'm just saying, ladies.
I hope they hit the like button beforehand. They may be trying to take their like back now.
Don't do it. We just being transparent.
No, I respect that. I truly respect that, and I appreciate that, because again, this is where we want to have these conversations. So look out. You heard her. We got a part 2 coming up. So
part 2.
Cool. With that being said, I'm out of here. I'm Zachary King. Peace.